Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me again. I just want to have a quick conversation with you about Payman, Hanson, and how racism sits in this great country of ours, Australia. So there's been a long-standing row between Fatima Payman, a senator, and Senator Pauline Hanson in the Australian Parliament. And it came to a head today when Payman had a go at Hanson for her racism. Now, I'm not here to argue whether power... Oh, yes, I am. The reality is that there's no dispute that Pauline Hanson does show some racist tendencies from time to time. And in this particular stoush, we find Senator Payman actually discussing what those issues are, and it's kind of fun to watch this fight between these two. Now, Senator Payman, I must confess, didn't have a well articulated speech regarding Hanson's racism. She was just angry, and so it's kind of fun just to watch how angry she was and what this actually meant to her.
Senator Hanson, why don't you just look at me when you're saying all these things through the chair? Because it's absolutely...
Actually, I think that's quite interesting. You notice that that red blob of hair sitting in front of Senator Payman actually is Hanson. So I don't know how because she's sitting in front of her, she was expected to look at her, but nevertheless, the rant continues.
Absolutely outrageous that you're going to come to this place to suspend standing orders when we've got an agenda full of important things that Australians want us to do, and instead of representing your constituents through the chair, Senator Hanson is more caught up in the Section 44. You know what? You've worn the burqa, through the chair. Senator Hanson has worn the burqa in this place. Maybe it's time that she pack her burqa and go to Afghanistan and talk to the Taliban about this. Because clearly, when the Labor Party put me up as a candidate, they did their homework. And here it is. Here's the advice, Senator Hanson. Do you want to see it for yourself? Because no, you're in absolute denial. All that Senator Hanson does in this place is spread hatred, spread division, because that's what you're made.
And I must confess, there is a part of me that agrees with Senator Fatima around all of this, and that, or Senator Payman rather, that Hanson does tend to bring to Parliament the racist nuances that we see from the right, and she has for years, as Fatima will talk about in just a moment, she has highlighted her degree of racism back from the first time she gave a speech in Parliament. And here we have one senator yelling at and screaming at a person sitting directly in front of her, in fact, around her views on racism, and I think rightfully so.
To do here, and it's outrageous. It's beyond comprehension. Here, take it. Absolutely just don't understand that we're wasting our time talking about a matter that has no basis. You've had it good for too long, Senator Hanson. Through the chair.
Senator Hanson, is this a point of order?
Yes, it is, because if she's got the documents, I ask her to table those documents.
That's not a point of order. Senator Payman, you have the call.
I think what does fascinate me here, and I'll just make this observation, is sitting in front of her is Senator Hanson, and sitting behind her, and this blob sitting behind her, is Senator Babbitt. Now, Babbitt's not just racist, he's also a conspiracy theorist who is an embarrassment to be sitting in the Senate or in any parliamentary situation or setting anyway, and in front of her. So she's kind of like, it's interesting how she's caught between these two revolting individuals.
Very honoured that I live rent-free in Senator Hanson's mind, but I think you've got better things to do than worry about Section 44 here when there's nothing to see. I mean, the racism and comments and quotes that you've made in the past.
Senator Hanson.
I want to withdrawn that racism. It's not racism. I want it withdrawn.
Senator Payman, I'd just rephrase that, please, and I'd ask you just to withdraw for the benefit of the chamber.
Okay, Deputy President, I would like to make a few quotes from Senator Hanson.
I like the way actually Senator Payman got around that issue. She was asked to withdraw the notion that that Hanson was racist. So she's come back and said, "Well, okay, but I'll quote from her, and you decide."
That has previously indicated.
No, Senator Payman, you have to withdraw for the benefit of the chamber, but then you can quote as much as you want.
I will withdraw so I can proceed.
Now proceed.
Thank you. Senator Hanson's quote, "I challenge anyone to tell me one thing that I've said that is racist." And here I begin. There's a few. There's so many, we could be here all day. She has said...
I have to say, I just love this bit. I think this is not the greatest speech on earth, but I think it's quite clever.
"I believe we're in danger of being swamped by Asians," in her first speech. In 1998 policy speech, she said Aboriginality would no longer exist under her party's policies. In another statement, she says, "We're bringing in people from South Africa at the moment. There's a huge amount coming into Australia who have disease. They've got AIDS. If that is not racist, what is it?" Oh, it's not racist. Oh, somebody bring the dictionary because Senator Hanson does not know the definition of racism. The fact that you would say just weeks ago to Senator Faruqi, "Piss off back to Pakistan," you're not just vindictive, mean, nasty, you bring disgrace to the human race.
I love it. Big disgrace. I couldn't agree more. She is an embarrassment, and it was a great exchange of ideas, even though the ideas came from just one particular part of the debate. And I think that this is something I think that we all need to be made aware of, is that there are politicians around, and there's a part of me that really likes Senator Payman because she's a young Muslim woman who is making her mark in politics, and even though she's fallen out with the Labor Party, she's still doing her thing, and you've got to admire her for that. I certainly do, and I hope to see more of her doing this calling out of people like Pauline Hanson for their racism. So let me know what you think. Some of you, I believe, that do subscribe to my YouTube channel do kind of like things that sort of Pauline Hanson say. Well, stuff you. I think that she's a lowest form of human excrement, and be glad to see the end of her when that day eventually comes. But let me know what you think, because I'm sure there's plenty of you that will disagree with me. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and make sure that everyone that you know and care about are taken care of. So take care and be safe.